Most people think the reason they're not building wealth is because they don't make enough money. And sometimes that is true. But a lot of the time, that's not the real problem. The real problem is that money is leaking out of their life in ways they barely even notice. Not through one giant mistake, not through some dramatic financial disaster, but through small, silent, repeated habits that slowly destroy their bank account month after month, year after year. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Because if you can see a problem clearly, you can usually fix it. But when the problem is hidden inside your normal routine, it becomes part of your lifestyle. It starts to feel normal. And once it feels normal, you stop questioning it. That's why in this video, we're breaking down the 7 silent wealth killers that are quietly draining your money, slowing down your progress, and keeping a lot of people stuck financially without them even realizing it. And trust me, some of these are way more expensive than they look. Let's get into it. Wealth killer. Number 1. Subscription. Creep, this is one of the easiest ways to lose money because it doesn't feel painful. It's not one big purchase. It's 10 small ones. Maybe it starts with one streaming service, then another one, then music, then cloud storage, then a premium app, then a meal plan, then a gym membership you barely use, then some random monthly software charge you forgot to cancel 3 months ago. Individually, none of these seem like a big deal. $10 here, $15 there, $8 somewhere else. But together, they can quietly turn into $150, $200, even $300 a month. And that's where it gets serious. Because $200 a month is $2,400 a year. That's not pocket change. That's real money. That could be an emergency fund. That could be debt payoff. That could be the beginning of an investment portfolio. The issue isn't just the amount. It's the fact that subscription spending becomes invisible. You stop actively deciding to spend the money. It just happens. And when money leaves your account automatically without you thinking about it, you lose control. The fix is simple, but most people never do it. Go through your bank statements and credit card statements for the last 60 to 90 days. Write down every recurring charge. Every single one. Then ask yourself 3 questions. Do I use this? Do I need this? Would I sign up for this again today if I didn't already have it? If the answer is no, cut it. Immediately. You don't need to be reckless. You just need to be honest. Wealth killer. Number 2. Lifestyle inflation. This one is a trap almost everyone falls into at some point. You start making more money, and instead of building more wealth, you just build more expenses. You get a raise, and suddenly your car payment gets bigger. You get a better job, and now you feel like you need a nicer apartment. You start earning more, and your spending rises right alongside your income. This is why a lot of people make good money and still feel broke. Because their standard of living expands every time their income does. And the dangerous part is that it feels justified. You tell yourself you earned it. You worked hard. You deserve better things. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The problem is when every increase in income gets instantly absorbed by lifestyle upgrades. Because that means you never create financial margin. You never create breathing room. You never create the gap between what you earn and what you spend. And that gap is where wealth is built. Wealth is not built by income alone. It's built by the difference between income and consumption. If you go from making $50,000 to $80,000, but your lifestyle grows so much that you still save nothing, then financially, not much has changed. The solution here is to set a rule for yourself before your income goes up. For example, every raise you get, maybe 50% goes toward improving your life, and the other 50% goes directly into savings, investing, or debt payoff. That way, your life gets better, but your future gets better too. Because if all your extra money disappears into a more expensive lifestyle, your bank account never gets to feel the difference. Wealth. Killer number 3. High-interest debt that feels manageable. This one is brutal because a lot of people don't panic about it. They normalize it. Credit card balances. Store financing. Buy now, pay later plans. Personal loans. Monthly payments stacked on top of each other. And because each payment feels manageable, people convince themselves everything is okay. But manageable does not mean healthy. You might be able to afford the payment. That does not mean you can afford the debt. High-interest debt is one of the fastest ways to destroy your ability to build wealth because it does two things at the same time. First, it takes your future income and gives it away before you even earn it. Second, it makes everything you buy more expensive. A $1,000 purchase on a high-interest credit card can turn into $12,200, $1,400, or more depending on how long you carry the balance. So now you're not just spending money, you're overpaying for your own life. And the longer it sits there, the worse it gets. What makes this a silent killer is that debt doesn't always feel like an emergency. You get used to the monthly payment. It becomes part of your normal bills. But every month that payment exists, it's stealing your freedom. That money could have gone toward investing, building reserves, starting something, growing something. Instead, it's going backward. If you have high-interest debt, this needs to become a priority. Not eventually, not when things calm down, now. Pick a payoff method and commit to it. Avalanche if you want to save the most on interest. Snowball if you need psychological momentum. Either way, attack it aggressively. Because wealth and high-interest debt do not coexist well. Wealth killer number 4. Banking fees and financial laziness. This one sounds boring, but boring is expensive. A lot of people are losing money through overdraft fees, ATM fees, maintenance fees, late fees, transfer fees, and interest charges simply because they haven't organized their financial system. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they're bad with money, but because they're passive with money. And passive money management gets expensive fast. Let's say somebody overdrafts a few times a year, pays occasional late fees on a credit card, and keeps their money in an account that charges monthly maintenance fees. Maybe that adds up to $300 to $600 a year. That's money lost for absolutely nothing. No asset, no experience, no value, just friction. And what's crazy is that most of these fees are avoidable. Set up alerts, set up autopay, keep a buffer in your checking account. Use a bank that doesn't charge junk fees. Use in-network ATMs. Actually read what your financial accounts are costing you. A lot of people spend hours trying to save money on small purchases while ignoring the systems that quietly cost them hundreds per year. That's backwards. Getting your financial setup clean may not be exciting, but it's one of the easiest wins in personal finance. You want your money system to be efficient, automatic, and hard to mess up. Because every fee you avoid is money you keep without working an extra hour for it. Wealth killer. Number 5, emotional spending. This is one people don't like talking about because it's personal. But it matters. A lot of spending has nothing to do with need and everything to do with emotion. Stress spending, boredom spending, reward spending, impulse spending after a bad day, buying things because you feel like you deserve something, buying things because you want a quick hit of relief. And in the moment, it works. That's why people do it. It gives you a temporary emotional payoff. The problem is that the emotional payoff disappears quickly, but the financial consequence stays. This is how money starts getting used as a coping mechanism instead of a tool. And once that happens, your spending stops being rational. You're not asking, is this worth it? You're asking, how do I feel right now? That's dangerous. Because emotions change fast, but purchases often stick around. You don't need to become cold and robotic with money, but you do need awareness. Pay attention to when you spend the most. Is it when you're stressed, lonely, tired, frustrated, celebrating? Once you identify your patterns, you can interrupt them. One of the best habits you can build is a delay rule. If it's not essential, wait 24 hours before buying it. For bigger non-essential purchases, wait 72 hours. That pause gives logic time to catch up with emotion. And a lot of the time, the urge passes. Not every purchase needs to be optimized. But emotional spending that becomes habitual will absolutely damage your finances over time. Wealth. Killer number 6. Not investing early enough. This one is expensive in a way people don't fully appreciate until years later. And by then, they can't get the time back. A lot of people delay investing because they think they need more money first. They think they need to get stable first. Or pay off every single thing first. Or learn everything first. So they wait. And wait. And wait. And while they're waiting, time is passing. And time is the most powerful asset in investing. Not because of magic. Because of compounding. The earlier your money starts working, the more time it has to grow on itself. That's the key. Someone who starts investing at 22 with small amounts can end up with more wealth than someone who starts at 35 with much larger amounts. That's how powerful time is. The silent part of this wealth killer is that doing nothing feels harmless. You don't feel the cost of not investing this month. There's no bill for it, no warning message, no penalty notification. But the opportunity cost is massive. Every year you delay is a year your money isn't building momentum. You do not need to start big. That's one of the biggest myths in finance. You need to start consistently. Even if it's $50 a month. Even if it's $100 a month. Start building the habit. Start building the system. Start letting time work for you instead of against you. Because the cost of waiting is often much bigger than the cost of starting small. Wealth killer number 7. Not tracking where your money actually goes. This is the silent killer behind almost all the others. Because if you don't know where your money is going, you have no way to control it. You're guessing. And when it comes to money, guessing is dangerous. A lot of people think budgeting means restriction. They think it means cutting everything fun and living some miserable, hyper-disciplined life. That's not what a budget is. A budget is awareness. That's it. It's telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. When you don't track your spending, small leaks become big losses. You underestimate how much you eat out, how much you spend online, how much random convenience costs are adding up. And because you don't have clarity, you can't make high-quality decisions. Tracking your money doesn't mean obsessing over every dollar forever. It just means paying attention. You need to know your numbers. How much comes in? How much goes out? What categories are too high? What patterns keep repeating? Because once you can see it clearly, you can improve it. And most people don't have a money problem as much as they have a visibility problem. They're not losing because they're incapable. They're losing because they're operating in the dark. So let's bring it all together. The 7 silent wealth killers are subscription creep, lifestyle inflation, high interest debt that feels manageable, banking fees and financial laziness, emotional spending, not investing early enough, and not tracking where your money actually goes. None of these feel dramatic in the moment. That's why they're so dangerous. They don't usually destroy your finances all at once. They do it slowly, quietly, repeatedly, and over time, that damage compounds. But the good news is this: if silent habits can quietly destroy your wealth, then smart habits can quietly build it too. You do not need to fix everything overnight. You do not need to become perfect. You just need to start noticing. Start paying attention. Start cutting what no longer serves you. Start directing your money with purpose. Because the people who build wealth are not always the people making the most money. A lot of the time, they're just the people who stopped letting money leak out of their life unnoticed. If you can do that, you put yourself in a completely different position financially. And that shift is bigger than most people realize. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to Sovereign Finance. Because on this channel, we break down money in a way that actually helps you build something real. And I'll see you in the next one.